Welcome to the Creating Salon Success podcast, where you will find educational and inspiring interviews to help you create your dream salon. And here's your beauty salon systemization expert, spa owner, and entrepreneur, Louisa Ashforth.
Hi, I'm Louise Ashforth from LA Training Academy, Creating Salon Success. I'm here today with Laura, and she's going to tell us an interesting story about herself. I'm not going to tell you too much, but basically she is a singer and now spends her time watering plants. So I really need to find out more about this. So thank you so much for coming on, Laura.
Hi. Welcome. Thank you. Hi, nice to see you.
Yes, and you. Thank you. So do you want to just introduce yourself, Laura, and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Laura Magann and I live in Sheffield. Todwick, Sheffield, and I've been a singer like all my life, really. Wow. Well, not all my life, but it's what I've done for the past 20 years. Yeah.
Wow, that's it. I always think like being a singer would be so exciting. Well, we'll talk about it in a bit, but I do like a bit of Amdram myself, so I'm sure we'll get onto that topic. But so just before we start, I just want to do like a few quick fire questions, if that's all right.
Okay.
So I can see from some of your pictures on Facebook that you obviously like your holidays. So where's your favourite place?
Oh, that's so difficult to say one favourite place, obviously because I've cruised, so I've been to a lot of different destinations. But talking about holidays, actually, we were supposed to be going to Ibiza on Monday, family holiday, and Justin and I have been a couple of times, and I really love it there, the sunsets. So yeah, Ibiza, and we went to Egypt last year. We had a lovely holiday there. So I can't think of one destination. I just love going on holidays.
I agree. I'm exactly the same. And I've never been to Ibiza, but I have heard such good things about it.
I was really surprised. It surprised me how beautiful it is, and it's not just this big clubbing place. You know, it's got a really nice chilled vibe about it.
I'll have to add it to my list. But I am a fan of Egypt as well. I do love Egypt, especially for the winter holidays. So I'll be missing that if we can't go. But just how it is at the minute, isn't it? What can we do?
At least they get nice weather. So
exactly, that's it. So, what book are you currently reading right now?
I don't read books.
You're not? Do you listen to anything?
That's so bad. I don't think really I've ever read any books all the way through. I've read autobiographies.
Yeah.
My reading is like OK Magazine.
I don't blame you. I love a good chill out magazine. It's like you can just switch off, can't you? It's like a chick flick, but in magazine form.
But what I do like is podcasts. So it's great to be on here. I love listening to podcasts. I love there's some great ones I've been listening to. Happy Place by Fern Cotton.
Oh yeah.
It's such a good podcast. And then on the other scale, Gemma Collins, I quite like.
Do you know something? I love Gemma Collins.
I do.
She is hilarious. And
her podcast is really good, actually. And you kind of like see the real side of her. And she's not this big dramatic, well, she's a dramatic diva, but she's really nice. I love lots of different podcasts, find them really interesting and nice to listen to when you walk. I do quite a bit of walking with my dog.
Yeah.
I like to listen to a podcast. Yeah.
Fair enough. That's fab. So, I quite like that actually, because we don't all have time to read anyway, do we? And some people, we're just not readers. And I do love reading a good book, but recently, or the last few years, I find myself listening to more audio books anyway, so it's like a podcast, isn't it? So, since obviously we're on lockdown at the moment, is there anything you have become obsessed with?
At the start, I really got into TikTok.
That is a really common one through lockdown, isn't it? I think even my husband, he doesn't even do social media, and he's obsessed with TikTok.
It's just so addictive. I've not been on it for quite a while now, but just flicking through, and I'm into obviously dancing and performing, so I was trying to get Justin and his kids to do some dances. They were having none of it. And then I kind of like really got into the Tiger King on Netflix.
I've not watched it yet, but a few people have said that,
Carol Baskin, so I kind of got into them, but I don't think there's anything else that I'm really obsessed with.
I don't know if you've seen my Facebook page recently, but yesterday I've become obsessed with ham, eggs and cheese in the oven. So you basically like layer in a muffin tin a slice of ham, crack an egg into it, and then put cheese on top. And my husband did it for me.
I did.
Loads of people have been sending me pictures this morning with their like version of it, and yeah, so I think I can safely say I have become obsessed with those. I've had them again this morning, so I highly recommend them.
Try that.
They are really, really good. So last quick fire question then. What is your favourite beauty product or a product that you couldn't live without?
Product that I couldn't live without. I do love, it's a Decleor product. It's a night balm. I do love using that actually.
It's always good to wake up feeling all refreshed. How did your singing career start?
So, as you know, I've said I did amateur dramatics when I was younger with friends in common. When I was 19, I played Eliza Doolittle with Wood Seats Operatic Society.
Yeah.
And after that, I kind of thought, right, this is not really much of a bigger part than I can get from this. I was working at Argos at the time.
Okay.
And so then I auditioned to be a Bluecoat. I straight away, actually, after I'd done my fair in 1999.
Wow.
And then I went to Supermare. I was a Bluecoat there for just 9 months. I've kind of always wanted the next thing, or, you know, try and move up the ladder kind of thing. And then that's how my career kind of like went from there, really. So I went from being a Bluecoat to then living in Spain for 8 months.
I love how casual you say it. Just living in Spain.
That was a very varied job. I worked in a place called Tivoli World.
Right.
And we did lots of different shows. One of the shows was I was a Teletubby.
Oh.
I used to, yes, I was Poe, the red one, Teletubby outfit. So as I've said to you, I have done all types of singing and performing, you know. But that was it. That was 9 months I spent in Costa del Sol.
Oh, and then where did you go after that? Where did it lead to? Because you've done cruise ships and all sorts, haven't you?
Yeah, so after that, I then auditioned for a Thompson ship called the Emerald. And I went on there for 8 months as a singer-dancer, you know, in the shows, with all the feathers.
Wow. I love all those costumes. That's like my favourite bit about the shows, all the like flamboyance and the glitter and the glam. I love it.
That was great fun. In fact, through lockdown, I've been through some old photographs and posting them to like friends on Facebook. I remember when we did this, and that was in 2001.
Oh.
Really good memories, you know.
Oh, I bet.
After that, I moved to London. And I lived in London for about 7 years. And in that time, I went on another ship for 8 months again. That was called Discover.
Wow.
So I always did my own cabaret as well as being in the big shows. I love doing my own show, being able to put in what I want type of thing, little bits of me. And I love doing the chat as well in between my songs. So when I moved to London, 2003, I then started performing like as an act. Singing in holiday parks around the southeast, that in London for quite a while, and then I moved back to Sheffield in 2007.
Yay, the high life in Sheffield, all the city lights.
It was nice to come back.
Oh yeah,
the roots, though, to be honest. But I've been away for like 10 years, and like a lot of things had changed, like circle of friends and stuff like that. Because all my friends I'd met on cruise ships, and we're in London or different parts of the country. So, but yeah, that was 2007. So,
did you join any of the Amdam societies again when you came back, or did you think I'm done with that?
I didn't join them, so I was gigging then, and I did go back and visit some friends, and then you know, kind of like watched a few shows that they were doing. Splinters musical theatre group, that was the first group I was ever in. Amazing. When I was 14, I was in Splinters. They're great. So if anyone wants to be a performer, be in Splinters.
I've never been in Splinters, but I totally agree. I've seen some of their performances, and I know lots of people. By the time I found out about Splinters, I was too old.
Yeah, maximum age is 30, isn't it? But I've seen quite a few shows from STOS, Teachers Operatic Society, they used to be called. Their shows are amazing.
Yeah.
And still Croft House, and so I didn't do any shows because, as you know, Louise, it takes so much to be time up, doesn't it?
Oh gosh, yeah.
I then went on to the pub and club kind of circuit, which was so different to singing in holiday parks and on ships.
I bet.
I had to start somewhere back up north then. So that's when I've mentioned that I have sung under a dartboard before. for quite a few years I did lots of different pubs and clubs. Some of them are great, but you know, some northern clubs are hard work.
Yeah, I know quite a few people who do sing in the clubs, and yeah, as much as it obviously you're doing what you love to do, it is hard work. And
that's it. Yeah, I mean, I grew up going to workers' clubs as a child in the 80s and 90s, and when clubs are fantastic, we had to be there at 7 to get our seat. But now times have changed.
Yeah.
X Factor, and it's a shame because live music is great, and at some pubs and clubs, yeah, they were hard work, and that is not really what I wanted to do. But I knew I had to work, and I've been doing it full time ever since I've moved back to Sheffield. I've sang lots of different styles of music, but my love really is musical theatre. In 2015, I kind of like started singing classical and started having singing lessons again. And then that's when my career kind of went in a really good direction, and I moved on to singing musical theatre and classical crossover, and started getting work abroad in hotels abroad.
Wow. So do you still find yourself getting to travel abroad then, doing like singing?
Until I'm supposed to be on a ship right now, actually.
Oh.
Now when I go on a ship, I just go on for like 4 days or a week.
Oh, okay.
Maximum time, and I just go on and perform my show.
Wow, that's amazing that you've gone from sort of having to do what everybody says to then now kind of like your own show and like 4 days. And
over the past few years, I've kind of like tried to branch out to kind of spread my wings a little bit, so that when something like this does happen, I've got other avenues. And I'm really pleased I've done that, because in the past, you know, entertainment can be really, really difficult, ups and downs I've had along the way, you know, and when there can be a down, and you know, might lose work for one reason or another, it can be really, really hard. So I've tried to have different avenues, like teaching. So a few years ago, I did a online teaching course, got a qualification. And then at the time, I got loads of bookings on ships, so I couldn't teach.
Sod's law, isn't it?
But then the past year, I've been using that, and I've started building up in fact, just before lockdown, I've told you about my adult singing group.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to look into this
as well. So I've been doing a kids academy as well, but then obviously that's all stopped for now. But yeah, I'm trying to kind of like spread myself, as I do with my singing, so I don't just sing the operatic and the musical theatre. That is my kind of forte.
Yeah.
But I try and spread myself, which I've been doing Facebook Live singing as well. And
I've seen a few of those, yeah, keeping everyone entertained during lockdown. And I've not actually seen the lives, but I've seen that you've been doing them. So I thought, oh, I must look out for the next one, because obviously we've only just recently connected, haven't we? So some of them have already happened. So
yeah, I started that on Mother's Day.
Right.
And anybody that knows me really well will know that's like really out of my comfort zone. I'm quite self-conscious. I know I'm a performer, but I'm self-conscious to perform online or something. But it's given me a routine, you know, through this time, which I really needed. If I wasn't singing at all, then I think I could like go into like a down place, you know, and feel quite sad about it, or when that's all I've done for the past 20 years. So I've been going live every Sunday just to keep my singing going, really, and I think it's made quite a few people quite happy, you know.
Oh, definitely. I will be tuning in on Sunday. But at what time is it on Sunday?
It's only 8 o'clock that I go live, so I always like advertise it like the day before or something. So,
that's good, but I think you're totally right. I think in this time, especially in any kind of business, obviously a lot of my listeners are salon owners, but in any kind of business, you've got to have like multiple streams of income. I often do promote that in my training academy. I do like business coaching, but because it's so important, because you never plan for a pandemic, do we? You know, you don't think it's ever going to happen, and it's really important to look how you can expand your business and don't just put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, I was supposed to be on a ship right now. My ship work this year, I had kind of stepped back a little bit, just because I wanted to get a little bit more of a routine, be at home. As you know, my partner Justin, he owns a garden centre.
Watering plants.
Then we got onto the watering the plants. So obviously my work finished on the 14th of March. That's the last time I worked. And it was really hard at first, wasn't it? I spent the first week, you know, quite upset, and it was weird, wasn't it, when this first happened? What am I going to do for work? Obviously, at first we didn't know if there would be any help from the government and stuff, but I did pretty much just get straight back into things. I started doing the Facebook Lives and then helping Justin out in the garden centre. So obviously the garden centre closed, but he had to keep obviously the plants going, and so I've been helping out with the watering, and he's been doing deliveries, which has been great. But yeah, it was quite funny. I've taken some pictures of, normally I'm on stage, I wear a big ball gown, and then I'm in the garden centre with the wellies. However, they are sequin wellies.
Of course, I feel like it's going to be the most glamorous plant waterer ever. So I feel like we should have you in a ball gown in the field watering your plants.
But that's when I've been listening to my podcast as well while I've been watering the plants, trying to keep them alive. Kind of like trying to do some, we're working on some online selling of the home and the decor stuff.
Okay.
Because like I say, we don't know when I'll be singing again now.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I think it will be one of the last things to go back, you know, singing in clubs or wherever, performing, theatres. I think theatres, it could be really, really hard for theatres to get back.
Definitely. I was talking to my friend about that, and we were saying, like, it must be so bad that literally all the theatres in London are closed. Like, you just think of the ones in Sheffield, but then everybody, I don't know, it's quite a worrying time, isn't it?
People will always want entertainment, so I think that all entertainers or people that work in theatres as sound and lighting directors, producers, it will come back, and it will come back really, really strong, but it's just when, isn't it? So as a self-employed person, I can't wait around for when will that be, and will it be next month? Oh no, I've got some more cancellations come through, so I'm trying to work on other little things, keep my singing going. So that's why I'm doing the lives, just to keep myself out there, because I don't forget that Laura Magann, the vocalist, is gone. Help Justin out as much as I can. Work on new things for the garden centre. Please start my teaching up again as soon as I can do.
Sounds good. I love listening to you and talking to you. You sound like you've got such a positive and strong mindset, and I am all about the mindset, because I think, you know, we can all have a wobble, and a time like this, you know, even I had a bit of a down day the other day, and it's so not like me, and I thought, what has come over me? But do you find that when you've got a strong mindset that you can quickly bounce back?
I surprise myself with how I've dealt with it, because in the past I have kind of been a bit of procrastinator, is that the word? This time now I've had a lot of down days, but I think what's just kind of hit me is I've got to get on with this.
Yeah.
And everybody is in the same boat, kind of like, and all my friends, all my performer friends, everybody's in the same boat. So, and I didn't want to sing on live on Facebook because I'm very self-conscious, and what will people think of me, and they'll think, oh, shut up, Laura Magann. But I think I just got to, well, I don't care now. I don't care.
Yeah, that's really good.
You know, I'm just going to get on with it. It's going to make some people happy. It's going to make me happy because I'm getting into a routine. As in terms of like, how am I keeping positive? I've been speaking to my friends a lot. Obviously, a few of my very close best friends, we've spoke like pretty much every day. A friend, my best friend, she's just had a baby.
Oh.
Well, she had a baby just before lockdown, and she's like walking every day. She's doing amazing, and she's doing like 4 miles a day. But every day she'll ring me, and I'll talk to her while she's walking, or I'll be doing something while, you know, to help each other really.
Yeah.
So I've kind of like done that to get through it, and I've not really had much downtime, as in sat watching Netflix. So I have kept really, really busy, to be quite honest. Been doing my garden to move on with it, and try and do as much as you can while you can, really.
I think it's true. I think it's really, really important that you've just got to keep, I think you mentioned the word routine a few times, and I think that is what's a shock to the system when you haven't got that get up to go to work and that usual routine. So you kind of got to create yourself a new norm, haven't you? Like a new routine. Probably heard me speak about morning routines, and I'm obsessed. And it's because I just need to do that in the morning to set me up for the day, because otherwise I'd get lost in that kind of like, oh, what am I doing? And it's so easy to go in that downward spiral, isn't it, if you do allow yourself. so you've got to kind of stay focused.
Yeah, I'm not the best morning person, being an entertainer and spending
a night time.
Yeah, I'm not the best in the morning, but I do try. What I have tried, the first few weeks, I think, from lockdown, I was like, oh, I look awful. And I thought this got to stop. So every morning now I do get up and I put my makeup on and I at least just do my hair a little bit. And that has made me feel so much better. You know, looking in the mirror, I'd be thinking, I look right now. Living in our tracksuits now. And I do miss like getting dressed up, but I will at least try and like do something fun.
Obviously, we've spoken about Andram, so I'm going to have to ask you, what is your favourite Andram show? You don't have to have been in it. Just well, let's go with the one that you've been in, and then one that you haven't. What's your favourite?
So it's got to be My Fair Lady, like I mentioned, is close to my heart. It's in my show, in my cruise show. I do a medley from My Fair Lady. In that part, Eliza Doolittle, when I was 19, that was amazing. And I would love to do it again now, because you know when you look back on something, I could have done that much better. Like, there are so many amazing shows. I mean, I saw recently Sunset Boulevard. So many great shows. I was supposed to see Six, the musical, actually, a few weeks ago, but obviously get to see that.
Yeah.
So I could sit here talking about musicals.
Oh, me too. Did you come and see Priscilla when Croft did Priscilla?
No.
It's one of my favourite shows to do. So good. Because it had all the feathers and the glitz and the glam, so.
I bet the costumes are fantastic in that show.
Amazing. Yeah, I loved it. It's my favourite. Yeah. But I do love Wicked as well. Have you seen it?
Yeah, that's another favourite of mine. Wicked.
Oh, there's so many. I'm like, Kinky Boots, Wicked, Legally Blonde, of course.
I love that. I love the songs that she sings in that.
Yeah, so good, so good.
I think of all these different musicals in my head. I will definitely do a show again one day. I would love to.
Or maybe we should both join Croft again and go and do the next show. I think, well, it was going to be Kinky Boots, wasn't it? But yeah, I don't know what.
I think that's what I'm trying to do as well with my kids for my academy that I'm starting up. So I want to be involved in a show, and you know, I did promise them we're going to do a show next year. And that's been put back a little bit now, but yeah, I will. That's kind of like where I definitely want to go in the future with my career. As much as I love performing myself, I get so much back from teaching, which really surprised me actually. Do a show with my kids and with my adult singers as well. It had only just started before lockdown, but I'm sure it will all come back and we'll continue and do a performance somewhere.
Definitely. I've seen your video that you did for the NHS with the kids. They all that's so nice.
Oh, they're so great, like so talented. I'm just seeing like young people, like the talent that they've got, it just amazes me, and I love working with them and developing their voices. I actually get so much back from that, probably more than me performing on stage myself, to be quite honest.
I suppose you get to that point, don't you, where you know that saying, it never used to make sense to me, those who can do and those who can't teach. And I used to think, well, I can, so that's when you teach. But I think it's just when you're at a different place in your life or career that you start to want to actually share what you know, and then you get more out of them developing. And that's a really nice feeling, I think.
It really is, yeah. And seeing anyone, whether it be a young student or someone older, that seeing how they develop, that's such a good feeling for yourself and them, and seeing how good it's made them feel as well.
Because of it's acting, singing and dancing, which is the area that you would say is your favourite?
Definitely singing, yeah. And being actually a performer, you know, because I think someone can have a great voice, but they've got to be able to perform that song as well.
Definitely. You know? Yeah, that's where I need a bit of help. So you can, I'm all right with the routine if you tell me where to put my hand and where to put my legs, but I just like to have a good sing song, really.
Yeah, well, the singing group will be back up and running as soon as possible. It was Thursday nights. We did it at Green Bean here at Green Scene Garden Centre.
Send us a link so that we can put it in. Yeah, definitely.
And anybody else that wants to come along for a good sing song on a Thursday night, 7:30. Yeah, it's a nice social thing as well. You know, it's not about being amazing or, you know. I set up the adult group as a bit of a social thing, meet new friends, and it doesn't have to be something that you're there every week. There's, you know, just something fun, meet new friends, something in this So, yeah.
It's just nice to be involved in something as well. And it's a hobby, isn't it? So if you do enjoy it, it's nice to be part of something. So,
Good.
Thank you so much for coming on. So what top tip would you leave us with for us to, seeing as we're in lockdown, what's your top tip to keep us in a positive state while in lockdown?
I would say kind of like contact your friends and your family as much as you can. So you just got to keep that focus and not think about how bad it is right now, 'cause it will get better. That's 100%, it will get better.
So that should be our theme tune then for this podcast. Things can only get better. I'm not going to break out into song, don't worry. Thank you so much, Laura. I really, really appreciate you coming on.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. It's lovely to speak to you.
Thanks so much for listening. I'm Louisa Ashford. I hope you have got so much value from this podcast. As always, thank you so much to our guests for coming on. Now, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my Podbean channel, and also don't forget to take a look at my YouTube channel so you can see all of these exciting videos. There is also the membership site, louisaashworth.co.uk, and of course the free Facebook group where there is loads of educational material creating salon success. Thanks so much.